Mm-hmm. Are they different questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Jerry, as a writer, do you feel like you have to like all of your characters, or are there some characters that appear in your scripts and your other works that you actually don't like?
You know you hate some of the characters. I can tell you 2 characters that he hates.
Let him do that, and then I'll answer your question.
He hates Div. Always trying to use Div. And he hates Randy Pinkwood. Which I don't know why, because he's an incredible character. Don't ever let me use Randy either.
Yes, and it was actually really hard for me to learn that for a long time, because it's as a writer, that sounds bad. As a person who writes text, occasionally, it doesn't define me. You get to the point where you're sort of creating these people. And it's like, do we have a responsibility to create only good people? No, because then the good people would have nothing to strive against, right? I mean, we have to, if you're actually trying to make a place, a whole place, that has a social ecology, you have to be mindful of that, of how entities interact, and they have to have different motivations. And some of those motivations, like trying to create those motivations, it feels weird, doesn't it? It feels wrong, right? We have to do it. We don't have any choice. I wrote a story for the Mojang guys. I wrote a story for their game Scrolls that will be coming out. And I had to make a real asshole. And that's not in my, I did not think I had that person in there, but he was there.
I believe it.
He was
the biggest surprise.
He was there, and he...
Right at the surface, probably.
Alright, I'm ready to make this question too. He has so much to share with us.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, Mike, about, your art.
Okay, I'm uniquely qualified to answer this question.
My husband and I noticed that your characters are getting much more expressive.
Okay,
and
thank you.
I was wondering what your goals were with that, because I've noticed that it's more and more, like they're incredibly, amazingly expressive. I mean, sometimes it's the expressions they have on their faces that gets me laughing.
Yeah, more than the text, yeah.
Look at like Gabe's expression, and I just have to laugh.
Thank you.
And I was wondering, what are your goals?
That's my goal.
You laugh just by looking at it.
If I can make a face just without the text, make you laugh, then yeah, that's absolutely my goal.
That's the win condition.
Yeah.
That's the end game, as they say.
No, I've been trying to work on that more. I think that for a while there I was trying to work on hands because they weren't great. I feel like my hands are in a pretty good place now. Yeah. And so no, I've definitely moved on to trying to make expressions important. I read through the script a couple times and I'm over at my desk, like trying to make the faces, like what is he thinking when he's saying this? What is his emotion when he says this?
I see, and I know when he's doing it too, because I can look over, I can only see the top half of his head of the monitor, and I'll see him go. And then sometimes I'll see him come out to the side and then go.
So I have to know what you look like when you hold nunchucks.
No, you'll know that. Check this out. Literally do that, and you'll learn it.
I wanted to be really...
Yeah, I know, and it worked. It worked.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
First I wanted to start by congratulating you that not once but twice now you've got, 5,000 plus people to check out your junk. self-serving. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I drove up.
That's my superpower.
We don't all get laser vision. So I was driving up from Portland this morning, and there were some guys next to me.
Yeah. Maybe those guys.
Yeah. Well, they were clearly not going to work. They were doing this sort of thing, doing the fist pump thing for the semi-trucks.
Yeah, PAX.
Yeah, and I thought, these guys are going to PAX. But I had no way of confirming it. I've been working on Nerd Gang Sign. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I was hoping that you could help us develop some Nerd Gang Sign. Let's see, I've got, this is Pi.
I don't know, dude. That's kind of hot.
Yeah, and I've got the one from Big Trouble in Little China, and I'm done. I was wondering if we could, perhaps somebody out here or
Crowdsource it.
Yeah, come up with some sort of PAX nerd sign, gang sign for the rest of us, for the people. I hear your hands are in a good place, so maybe.
Well, it's sort of like there's always that Fight Club aspect, especially like on Thursday or before the show. It's like you don't want to come up and be like, "Hey, I hear you. I hear the spirit within. I'm on your team." Because then not everybody wants to hear that from a stranger, right? But if we recognize that we have that aspect, and there's an easy way to show it. We need a better way than just warning someone off of the suit.
Yeah.
Right. We need another level of communication.
We'll think about it.
Okay.
For PAX East, we'll have something ready.
Awesome.
Krahulik and Mr. Holkins. It's like my second PAX, so it's...
You can call me Mike.
If it's your second PAX,
Yeah. We moved to the first name category.
Well, I remember when I first, started reading Penny Arcade like 12 years ago, it was so hard to find any information about you guys and what you're like. So now we have the gift of PATV and all those podcasts and the stream you just did where I guess you had the microphone. So
that was fun. That was super fun.
So it's always so cool to get to know you guys. So I was wondering if you had any cool stories from your personal lives recently that you could just share.
You want to be enriched. Oh shit. Because we're alive all the time.
That covers a lot of ground. I changed the dirty diaper the other day.
My son made up a joke. You want to hear the joke? This is what technology delivers breakfast. A universal cereal bus.
You can take over.
He's ready to take up the mantle.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I can't think of anything.
Well, what about Gabe's stuff on his Minecraft server? He's done a bunch of crazy stuff on
Done
it.
a ton of crazy stuff in there, yeah. And it's really interesting it's one thing to sort of look over your son's shoulder while he's playing a game like that and say, oh, he's making cool stuff. But now that it's a persistent server, when he's in bed, I can go in there and see what him and his friends have done.
Is this like what our parents do? Is they're checking in your room?
Yeah, virtual bed.
Like, you're gonna find this pixelated pornography.
I went into the world one day and I hadn't been in there for a couple days. And the last I saw his home, it was a pretty simple little, couple windows in the side of this cliff. And we went in and I remember he had built an aqueduct to divert water from inside the cave to make a waterfall in front of his house. And then I went in and I was like, Gabe, how did you do this? And he taught me how to get, you have to get the water at the source in a bucket. it's like, this is a new level. Like, when I'm going in and he's teaching me how to play the game, that was pretty special.
And we went back to his fountain, and now the fountain has a jet of water cascading out and a jet of lava cascading out. And then Scott was like, somebody stole my lava.
We had to talk about virtual goods being just as real, not being able to steal from other people's chests.
Yeah, he received a profound education.
No, then he created like an obsidian farm so he could burn, so he could make a portal. It's just amazing. It's crazy.
Hi there. Before I ask my question, I wanted to start with an apology, not explicitly to you two, but your team in general. When you first unveiled the new site design, I may have written a fairly lengthy email criticizing several usability issues as I described them.
That's Erica's fault.
Yeah, we can.
Well, I do want to apologize. My tone was
She probably deserved it.
Listen, Erica is tough. She can take it. Okay.
Sure. My actual question is for you, Jerry, in a quick and odd-phrased way. When writing, is it easy for you to start at the beginning or the end?
I usually start in the middle. Ho!
I got you there.
What I do is, because the story is full of stuff, right? Sometimes I have some notes in another file, but generally speaking, I go in and I write the moments already.
No, I just got the impression it's
I can ask you a question too, Michael.
I got the impression.
No, he's got it.
Here. So, I go in and I find the parts of it that I want to write the most, and those tend to be somewhere in the middle. And then I write with my full, as much as I can, as well as I can, I write the parts that I really want to write, and then I just work out.
Oh shit, this is Cadbury chocolate.
Oh, hell yeah.
You didn't poison us, did you? We'll know if you poisoned us. No? Alright, are we good?
Yeah.
I don't know why I would believe it. Even if you poisoned us, you'd probably say no, right?
So this is my first PAX.
Welcome.
Thank you. So just trying to stick with this
No, there's no official rule.
Okay. I've been listening to the old podcasts, the downloadable content, as I drive to work, and
The ancient scrolls.
yeah, exactly. Well, it's got a lot of great information there. Like you managed to coin Wiimote on day one.
Did I?
Yeah, on day one, you came up with Wiimote. Knew that was what it's going to be called.
I feel good.
But I do have a lot of questions to ask because it goes back from 2006 to 2009.
Oh, sure. You know,
Obviously, it's going to be very specific, and no one else goes. But I was wondering, do you, Mike, do you really dislike people who back into parking spaces?
Yes. That really bothers me. You have to understand, I'm crazy.
Well, yeah.
Like, I actually take medicine to be less crazy.
Right.
So that one still, that makes it through the pill.
Yeah, I was going to say
The overall altitude of the crazy kind of drops, and then there's these jutting spikes.
Right. Well, yeah, listening to the podcast because it plays backwards chronologically on the iPhone, you get like someone who's pretty normal and gets crazy.
I'm gonna play this game when I get home. I'm gonna listen to it with that in mind.
Okay, yeah, just fun. Thank you very much.
No sweat.
I think it's showing off. Back again. I'm sorry. Alright.
So one of the hallmarks of PAX is how it always embraces the unembraced areas of gaming. But there's one area
That
that
sounds so kinky, like, right? It does a little bit.
Well, there's one area that hasn't gotten any love.
Okay,
Pinball.
still sounding kinky.
When is pinball going to be invited to PAX?
Oh man, that would be the best. Oh man, out at East, there was this amazing classic arcade society. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, I could not stay out out of that place. Everything was on free play. There was a sequel to Missile Command. I didn't know that. Oh no, it was the best. I mean, I'd love to have pinball be big.